Hi Year 6, welcome to the next homework video. It's all about brackets and equality. Have a look at the two examples here. You might think straightforward. All I need to do is 4 plus 5, which is 9. 9 times 8 is 72. That would be the case if we put brackets around the 4 and the 5, because of course you'd know anything in brackets is always the bit you do first. So 9 times 8 is 72. However, it's not the case if I put the brackets around the 5 times 8, because 5 times 8, that's the bit I do first, because it's in brackets, and so that's 40, and of course 4 add 40 is 44. Now in maths, you don't necessarily start with a number on the left and work to the number on the right, like when you're reading. There's a rule that you'll come across in high school really in more detail, called bid maths, and that tells you the order in which you need to do your calculations. The B stands for brackets, and anything in a bracket is the bit that you do first. Now have a look at these calculations here. Have a go at doing 3 different examples where you use the same numbers but you put the brackets in different places, and see if you can get 3 different outcomes. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put one bracket there, I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there. I'm going to see how the answers are different. So here, the first thing I have to do is 5 minus 4 is 1, and then it's 1 times 3, which is 3, plus 1, which is 4. Now here, in this case, I actually know that I do the multiplication first before I do the addition, if there's no brackets. On the next example, I've got 4 times 3, then I need to do the bit in the bracket first, so I'll do 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 1, so the bracket makes 13. If I do 5, take away 13, I get negative 8. And then on the last example, I've got 5 take away 12 plus 1. So 5 take away 12, I take split the 12 up into 5 and 7. So 5 take away 5 is 0, take away 7 is negative 7, and then plus 1 means it's negative 6. And you can see here, just with the way I've put the brackets in, there's a difference of 12 between my lower value and my higher value. Now, one of the biggest misunderstandings people have in maths is actually equality and what that means. Equality as in equals. Have a look at the equals sign. It's actually 2 equal length lines, and that's really significant. People think the equal sign means you have to do something. 4 times 3, I have to transform it into a number, 12. What it actually means is what's on this side is equal to what's on this side. It's the same amount, because 4 times 3 is 12, but this is also 12, it's the same amount. Now, you don't necessarily have to have just one number on one side of the equals line. So for example, if I'm doing the question below, and I'm doing 3 plus 2, you might think, well, that's 5, but that's also 7 take away 2. And the equal sign here is correct, because what's on this side, 5, is the same as what's on this side, 5. The mistake people would make is they would think, well, 3 plus 4 equals 7, and then they would take something away, say 1 away, and that of course would make it incorrect, because the sides aren't the same value. Now, we do have some signs that we use if the two sides don't match. So say, for example, if I was doing 3 times 7, and I had an equal sign and a 5 plus 19. Now, of course, they're not the same, because on this side, I've got 21, and on this side, I've got 24. So then I would use this sign across over the equals line to show that it isn't the same. Now, in fact, I also have other signs to show me in even more detail. So I can actually use this sign, which shows that the thing on this side is more than the thing on this side, a greater than sign. Now, sometimes people imagine it being like a crocodile that's eating the bigger number, and that's an analogy that's given. But that's how these signs are used to show that there isn't an equality. Okay, so let's see if you can apply that understanding. Have a go at this question, where you've got to make the two sides equal, and then have a go at these two. Now what I want you to do on these two questions is put the right symbol in the middle to show whether there is equivalence, to show whether the two sides are equal, or to show which side is greater. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's have a look at some possible solutions. So say I did 30 divided by 10, that tells me that this side here is 3, so then 8 subtract 5 will also make this side 3, so that'd be the same. And of course there's lots of different possibilities. You could of course do 30 divided by 3, that would make this side 10, and then here I'd have to do 8, take away a negative 2, to make this side 10. Now, having a look at the examples below, 7 times 8, well I know that side is worth 56, and then on this side I'll do the bracket first. 6 times 4 is 24, and then 80 subtract 24, I'm going to do this one by counting back. 80 take 20 is 60, 60 take 4 is also, for this side as well, 56, so that tells me that those two are equals, they're equivalent. Here, 60 divided by 5, how many 5s in 60? Of course there are 12. And then here, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, well 2 times 2 is 4, then times that by 2 is 8, and times by 2 is 16, so I know that side's bigger, so I'd put this symbol in here. Now I could of course also put this symbol in, just to show that those two are not equal. Now if you're feeling brave and you think you can apply that understanding to this question, have a go. See if you can do it using positive whole numbers for each of the 3 boxes. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so I know that this side and this side have to be the same, because there's that equals line in the middle, the equality sign in the middle, and I know that those two have got to be more than this one as well. And so I'm thinking if I have to add a positive whole number, that the smallest that this one can be is 14. So I'm really aiming to make these two numbers as big as I can get them. Now, if I'm doing 30 divided by something, well, if I made this section 2, the bracket worth 2, then 30 divided by 2 will give me 15, so that would work. So 30 divided by, and I need to think, well, what must the bracket be if I'm going to be dividing 2 in total? And of course, if I make that number 5, 5 subtract 3, that would give me 2. And so I need to make that the same as this one. So if I have 3 times 5, that would work, and then I could do 13 plus 1. So if we have a look at those 3 there, then I'll do this bit first. So I'll do 5 take away 3, which is 2. 30 divided by 2, so this section is worth 15, and that's the same as 3 times 5, so this section is 15, and that of course they're more than the 14 here in this section. Fantastic. Now there are other ways to do this, so if you find them, do let me know. Well done, and we'll see you in class next week.